How's it going? I'm Andrew with Investors Hub, and we're switching up the background, going back to the bookshelf background because I think it looks nice, and also it's just way easier to color balance against. I actually look like a normal person. That blue background, I don't know, it doesn't key properly in terms of color balance. Anyhow, so I'm going to be talking about a company that I found and I thought was interesting, so I threw my money into. I am not an investing professional. This is just me sharing my thoughts on a company that I tossed my money into, and I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts down in the comments section. I decided to toss some cash into NGCA, which is a SPAC that is rumored to be merging with the company Virgin Orbit, Richard Branson's satellite launching arm of his sort of space empire that he's trying to build. So what is a SPAC? Real quick, and if you want to skip me talking about what a SPAC is, you can skip to that time over there. Anyway, so a SPAC is a special purpose acquisition company, also known as a blank check company, and basically it's just a huge pile of money that a bunch of investors get together with the intent of investing in a private company that would like to go public. And part of the SPAC is owned by insiders, and part of the SPAC is owned by people that publicly invest in the SPAC whenever it first does its offering. And then those SPAC shares can be exchanged just like shares of any other company. Except, like I said, this company is just a big pile of money. It doesn't have any revenues or anything like that. Its only purpose is to latch on to a private company that does a thing and wants to go public. Now, why would a private company do this? Well, a private company would do this because the IPO process stinks and it makes it a lot easier to go public. And they also get this large infusion of money from the SPAC itself. Another interesting thing about SPACs that I forgot to mention is that if you own a share of that SPAC, then you own a portion of that big stack of money. Meaning that if you don't like their merging partner, or you don't like the agreements of their merger, you can choose to then redeem that share of the original SPAC that you owned before it becomes the new company for the base value of that share, which is almost always right around $10. So it effectively sets a floor for the value of the share. So why NGCA? Well, they're merging with a company that's in the space sector, which is a sector that I just think is really interesting, and I think that it has certainly a lot of room for growth. I saw a report from Morgan Stanley that said that they expect the revenue for the space sector to triple by 2040. And yeah, it's just a highly speculative sector that people are willing to throw money at because people are excited about it. And I want to invest in things that people are willing to throw their money at. On June 12th, we learned from the Sky News, which is a news organization out of the UK, that these talks were in place between Virgin Orbit and NGCA, and they got, the usual SPAC stuff, where it's like some insider leaked the news. And that this merger was supposed to be happening in the next few weeks. And it's been the next few weeks. It is mid-August now, and we haven't gotten any more news about the negotiations being finished. So we're probably either going to hear that the negotiations fell through or that the merger is going through. And either way, I think at this particular valuation of NGCA, you're probably in good shape, right? Because right now, it's trading below $10, right around the redeemer rate. So really the only thing that you're losing is the opportunity cost of money, is that you could be investing your dollars in something that's actually growing. So also drawing off that Sky News article, they mentioned George Madison, who is a guy who is on the board of directors at Virgin Galactic. And Virgin Galactic is Richard Branson's space tourism arm of his growing space empire, with Virgin Orbit being a satellite launching side of things. And so George Madison is the co-founder of this particular SPAC. So, insiders rubbing hands and all that stuff. It seems like sort of a perfect arrangement. I'm willing to hazard a guess as to why these talks are taking so long. Is first of all, they take a variable amount of time. I mean, this is a lot of money. They need to negotiate and make sure things are all squeaky clean and ready to go through, or at least well greased, if not squeaky clean. And also, I think that Richard Branson is not in a super duper good place in terms of his investors looking at him, is because, he had that whole special announcement coming back from his Virgin Galactic Landing, SPCE, and I was like, ooh, special announcement. What's the special announcement going to be? It's a stock offering. Okay, great. That's fantastic. So that's some share dilution there. And there was also news that came out last week of him selling a bunch of space shares that he owns. So I think people are a little bit mad at him right now, and I suspect that they're going to be waiting until the news cycle moves on and people sort of forget, and then they'll do the announcing for the Virgin Orbit merger. But that's just pure speculation on my part. So my current strategy for this is ride the wave on the way up from the initial excitement and then get out. I'm not really in the game of holding through SPAC mergers. Not suggesting it's going to be a bad SPAC merger or that this is a bad company, but there's just so much uncertainty around SPAC mergers, and then there's dilution and all this chaos that happens, and my risk profile says get out while the getting is good. I would suggest you guys watch a video that we made with Michael Klausner. He is a professor at Stanford, and he did a study with he and a bunch of his colleagues about SPAC mergers back during the height of the SPAC craze last year. And he talked about how the overwhelming majority of SPACs basically are, if you don't think that the SPAC is getting like 30 or 40% more company for its money, then you're gonna be having a bad time, because share dilution will cause those stocks to get diluted, and your money is not going as far as you think it will be. So yeah, I will link that down below, as well as the S1 for NGCA. I'd be interested in hearing you guys' thoughts, so leave me a comment down in the comment section below, and like, comment, subscribe if you like the video. You can follow us on Twitter, ihub_vision, and I'll see you again soon.